Wow, we're doing a live show, and today on Brilliantly Sexy, please help me welcome Kim, the business coach. Now, need I say more? Look at this energy that's radiating through the screen, the smiles, and one of the reasons I connected with Kim was not only is she a gifted coach, a teacher, but she is also the founder of the Ambitious Female Society. What's the full name of that, Kim? Because I think I just butchered that.
You were really close. You were really close. I'm so excited to be here. The full name of the Facebook group is the Ambitious Female Entrepreneurs Society.
Thank you. I knew I was close.
Yes, so close. So close.
So everybody help me welcome Kim, the business coach. Kim. So what is the word? First of all, tell me about yourself, your business, quickly. And then I have lots of questions for you. And I know a lot of people are joining in. So there's going to be a lot of questions coming in. And viewers, tell us where you're from, which part of the world you're from. Kim, tell us where you're from. And those of you who don't know me, my name is Devina Kaur, and I'm the founder of the Sexy Brilliant Global Revolution. We are a registered nonprofit foundation to remove toxic shame and raise human consciousness. And currently, I am in Canada, although I'm born and raised in India. So, Kim, your turn. Take it over.
Yes. I'm so excited to be here. I am a business coach, and I help female entrepreneurs really learn how to grow a profitable business that they love. Because sometimes we end up building businesses that we're not quite in love with anymore. And I think that piece of it is super important. I started my own business about close to 3 years ago, and I launched my business while working in corporate. I am married, I am in Michigan, and we have 3 amazing boys. I am an all-boy mom. And then we also have 2 wild huskies. So I know what it's like to build a business with a whole bunch of chaos going on around you.
So COVID kind of lifestyle is not new to you, right?
Right.
The chaos, the confusion. And Kim, thank you so much for that. And I should have mentioned that you are also a mother. And a lot of women here, a lot of mothers, single mothers too. I'm a full-time single mother. And, we as women are so... And I'm talking about myself, and you can come in and tell us, and viewers to tell us what you are, where you are with your ambitious side. So I know at some point in my life, I was very kind of shamed and ashamed of feeling ambitious. Like, I wanted more for myself, whether it was more education, whether it was more children, bigger family, like, work responsibilities. I've always had this ambitious side. So, and then I was frowned upon because I was told, like, you better control yourself. You better learn how to live in a box because it's so easy, right? And, here I am. I wrote a book called Too Fat, Too Loud, Too Ambitious. And that's why Kim is here, because I want to talk all about the ambitious side, Kim. So take it over. Tell us, how did the name of the Facebook group come up?
Yes, I love that. And I'm going to have to get a copy of your book. I'm super excited about that.
Yes.
I can resonate with so many pieces of it too. Like, something that I have heard my whole life is how loud I am, right? Too loud for corporate, too loud for the clients, too loud for the classroom, too loud for this. Can't you be quiet? And it's so funny because I think those things, those messages that we receive, whether it's as children or as adults, they imprint us. Right? But sometimes those things that are viewed as a negative in one space, i.e. maybe in corporate, right? It's viewed as a negative, can be one of your greatest strengths in another area of your life, like entrepreneurship, right? One of the things, and Devina, I know you hear this too, I just know it from watching your content, is that your energy attracts people, right? It's like a magnet online. And that's something that I hear all the time. And it's the very thing that worked against me in corporate works for me as an entrepreneur.
Yes, and this is so true. Like, I'm from corporate banking, and I was making a lot of money, but I was so miserable inside that I would come back home and I'd be like suicidal. At which point, I decided to quit everything and I became a full-time dog walker. And all of I know, so the huskies, I relate to your huskies,
Yeah.
I know it is. And it's like we are always told how to act, how to behave, how to be. But here we are, like saying revolutionary. We're talking about being who you are. We're talking about self-knowledge, which is what, the KAUR stands for. It stands for knowledge, acceptance. I don't know if you can see that, Kim. The KAUR under my name is trademarked. And
Love
it's also self-knowledge. So what is wrong with loving all parts of yourself?
Yes. And embracing it, not only loving it and keeping it on the inside, but embracing it and using it to create the life, the business, the dream, whatever, like write that word ambition. Ambition means you have a strong desire to do or achieve something. And there's no reason why all of us, men, women, children, all of us, regardless of where we grow up, what culture we're in, what language we speak, what religion we practice, what political views we have, regardless of any of that, we can all celebrate these things that make us unique and use it to fuel this passion for our ambition that is deep-seated inside of us.
Oh, that's so beautifully said and so eloquently said. And you know what? The way you're expressing yourself, and like, I know I have trouble expressing myself. And again, English is not my first language, so there's always that barrier that comes in, and I have to think. Sometimes I start in Punjabi, sometimes I start in Hindi. Now I also speak French, and I'm like,
That's so amazing, though. So amazing.
Right, but it's also, it makes it very challenging to, honestly, I can't believe that I wrote a book called Too Fat, Too Loud, Too Ambitious, because the thing is, English is not my first language, and then with the ADD, the language, the creative expression struggle. But here's the thing, the idea of doing something is the first step. So when you discover that, this is who I am, this is my bright side, but this is my dark side, but I'm going to accept both parts of myself, all parts of myself. That's when you start creating magic. And in my case, like, there were so many people who came to help me write the book. So I'm like just so grateful that, I'm celebrating my ambitious side, my loud side, my fat side. So
I love it.
Yeah, we're all in this journey together, Kim, and to everybody who's here, it's like so beautiful to know yourself, to love yourself, to accept yourself for who you are. And I know you talk about that as well, Kim. So tell us a little bit about your work and how we can support each other, grow together, be sexy,
I love it. Be sexy, be brilliant, be amazing, be ambitious, chase these dreams. I love it. Yes, I have, I think, around 3,000 women in my Facebook group now of the Ambitious Female Entrepreneur Society. It is really geared towards entrepreneurs, but whether you have a dream or you're already hitting six figures or multiple six figures, like, that is a space that I've created for these women to feel comfortable, to ask questions, to network, to promote their businesses. I think it's really important that all women have spaces and platforms where they can authentically, we're not spamming people, but they can authentically talk about how they serve, right? This is one of the things that I do with my clients. My background is in marketing. So that was really the springboard for me to become a coach, was using this marketing knowledge that I had. And one of the biggest transformations that has happened in my own business, because I was very strategy driven. I was a stats major in college, all about the numbers and the strategy. And I was a little bit of a late bloomer to realize my love for marketing. So I was really focused on the strategy piece when I launched my business. And it really was kind of, if you will, within this last year, where I realized there was something missing in my business. And it was that mindset piece. I had always kind of played that piece down, being almost tunnel vision on the strategy. And having a good strategy is important. Okay, I always say now, strategy and mindset are equally important. And when you combine the two, mindset plus strategy equals success. That's when your business will really start to explode.
So let's take this in a practical form. What do you mean by mindset and what do you mean by strategy? Give me an example.
Oh, I would love to. So
we can talk about promoting a book, for example. like.
All right, promoting a book, let's do it. Writing the book, promoting the book, marketing the book, right? All of these things are really, really important. So regardless of what kind of business you're in, having a strategy of how you're going to grow that business. I work with a lot of coaches, consultants. I work with a lot of women that are service-based entrepreneurs. Writing a book falls into this though, right? How are you serving your community with that messaging inside your book? So when I talk about strategy, a lot of times what I'm really focused on is what do you need to be doing every single day inside of your business to sell that book, to sign those clients, right? Whatever your business is, what is that strategy piece? How are we using the online space to build your audience? What kind of content are you creating? How are people engaging with you? How do they know what offer you're making to them? Selling a book would be a prime example of that. When I'm talking about mindset, there's that
Can I say something, Kim?
Yeah.
So this is a very important point that you just raised, that you mentioned the word sales, you mentioned selling, you mentioned creating. And so often we as women are ashamed to sell ourselves, right? And by selling ourselves, I mean selling our products, our services. We shortchange ourselves, we doubt ourselves, and even men do it, but especially I think as women we do it more. So never be ashamed of owning your business. I mean, like I mentioned, I used to be a full-time dog walker. Did I mention that on camera, Kim? I did, right?
Yes.
I'm doing so many shows. I'm a little bit.
Yeah.
I apologize. So never be ashamed of owning your business, of being who you are, and it comes from having the spiritual confidence. And confidence can start from the outside. It can start from the beautiful hair, the crazy hair flower, the dress. But ultimately, we're looking at spiritual confidence. When we know who we are, we can then sell anything. And it's important, right? Like creating social media content. And Kim, correct me if I'm wrong or interject at any time, that there's so much noise out there. So every time you're making a post, feel free to sell yourself, because we need to make space for ourselves at the head of the table. And we are providers, we are nurturers, we are caring for our people, our children, our family. So be comfortable with sales, be comfortable with knowing yourself, live in that self-awareness. So
yes, I love that. And I see that all the time with my clients. The sales process is one of the areas that so many of my clients struggle with. And it usually, just like you said, Devina, like they're afraid to get to the pitch part. They're afraid to say their prices. Or if somebody says, I can't afford it, they want to start making what they do or what they offer cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and bringing their offer kind of down to where they think they could sell it, instead of attracting the people that are ready to buy, right? I heard on a podcast recently, and I thought this was just like the best description. When you think about who you're selling to, if you sell water, you don't just want to sell to thirsty people. You actually want to sell to thirsty people with money, right? We're not going to convince people to buy from us. We want to attract the people that are excited to work with us and have the money to invest with us. And it can make a world of difference when you're talking to people about sales. But you have to have that self-confidence and be self-aware enough to be able to present that offer, right? And really talk about your pricing with complete comfort. It's so important that you're comfortable with what you're charging. And that's a big piece of where this mindset work comes in. Because what we think about ourselves, about our program, about our offer, about our book, about the people investing with us, all of these things, what we think is what actually creates the results that we're getting. So I talk to women who maybe are thinking, nobody can afford me, nobody can invest with me, nobody's going to be able to pay this. What happens is when they're telling themselves nobody can afford me, it makes them feel uncertain or reserved or scared to bring up the pricing, because they're already thinking nobody can afford me. So when they're on the sales call now, that's what's in their mind. That's the way that they're feeling. And when they're feeling scared to talk about their pricing because they're thinking nobody can afford me, that leads to their actions. And how do they show up on that sales call? Probably timid, reserved, sounding uncertain. Maybe they skate around the price, right? They're not showing up confidently in that call and talking about the investment with confidence. And what result are they going to get if they're showing up feeling scared, having that thought in their brain, and they're not being confident, or they're skating around the pricing? The result they're going to get is likely the person's going to say no. They're going to struggle to actually close those sales. But it all started with that thought up there. It started with that thought of what she is telling herself that leads to the feeling that creates the action that gives us the results.
I so love that. That's so beautifully said. And, this is true too, right? Whether you are thinking about starting a business, you're starting thinking about a relationship too. They're all connected, by the way.
Yeah.
And talking about a book too, it was like, I know I'm not a gifted writer or talent. It's not my natural talent, right? Mm-hmm. But the desire, the mindset, as Kim says, was so important. Like, I want to do this. I want to write a book. And that was it, right? I was so ambitious, coming back to that again, that I was relentless. Like, you know what? Like, I would be, for example, Kim, I would get asked out on dates and I'd be like, no, I'm too busy working.
Yeah. You had your priorities set, right? Yeah. You had your priorities set. And it's almost like if you have a baby, right? I'm a mother, you're a mother, you have a baby, you are committed to taking care of that baby, right? It doesn't matter if you're sick, if you're tired, if somebody's asking you out on a date, okay, maybe if you get a sitter, but go with me on this, right? Like, you have to feed your baby and you're going to take care of your baby because you're committed to that baby, regardless of all the chaos going on in the world. Regardless if you're happy at your job or unhappy at your job, or even working a job or a stay-at-home mom, right? You are committed to taking care of that baby. And when you have this deep ambition, if you truly want to make big change, whether that's grow a business, hit 6 figures, hit multiple 6 figures, write a book, right? Run a marathon. If you have this need and this pull deep inside of you, and you are ambitious and driven, and you are going to achieve that goal has to become non-negotiable for you. Just like taking care of your children, right? All these commitments that we give to other people, you have to view this with the same type of commitment that you do these other things.
So beautifully said. And, I just want to mention something else, that ambition is not just about, it's not just related to money. Ambition is also about being related to going to university. It's also about those of you, I'm a first generation immigrant. So for me, my ambition was to come to Canada. That's an ambition too. However, we don't think about it as an ambition, right? We think about it as it's just a natural process that we do in life. But only if you can have those dreams, those ideas, can you achieve them. So never hesitate to think big. Energy flows in tension. So the bigger we think, the more we attract in our life.
So true. So true. And I think the mind is such a powerful thing. I know for me in 2019, I was thinking a lot about leaving my corporate job, but I was scared. And I kept thinking all that year, I would think, if I leave the security of a job, what happens if I get sick? What happens if my kids get sick? What happens if we have house repairs or car repairs? And what ended up happening that year is that my dog died, my dad died, my father-in-law was hospitalized and almost died. We had $12,000 worth of home repairs. We had $6,000, the engine blew on our car that we still owed $6,000 on. Everything that I worried about happened. Everything. Come New Year's Eve, my husband and I were like, get out of here, 2019. Like, we are done with you. We're fed up. Wow. Get this year out of here. Kept thinking, like, it's going to be better. Or 2018. Sorry, this was 2018. Get out of here, 2018. 2019 is going to be better. And what happened then, long story short, is I hadn't been feeling well for a couple days. I ended up in the ER on New Year's Eve, December 31 of 2018, with massive near fatal internal bleeding. I was hospitalized for 5 days. I have no idea how that much blood can come out of one person and you don't die. I had 3 blood transfusions, 2 iron infusions, more tests than you could even imagine. Then I contracted an infection from the IV that was in my arm for 5 days, and I was out for like another week. It never ended. But what I realized, again, every single thing I worried about that year is what ended up happening. The sickness, the medical bills, everything that I worried about happened. And I heard somewhere along my journey, I can't tell you where I heard it, probably more than one person has said it, but I saw a quote that said, worrying is like praying for bad things to happen. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I created all of this chaos around me. I created all of it. And I remember thinking that year, oh, I just want a new car. I am so sick of this minivan. I am not going to drive this. Well, then the engine blew on the car. And I was like, oh no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. That's not how I want, right? But like literally everything I worried about came true. And if we can start to recognize these things in our life, because again, it all starts with our thoughts, right? Our thoughts create the result that we're getting today. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow. The last thing I wanted to hear laying in that hospital bed was how really I had created this around myself, right? That was the last thing I wanted to hear. It is not easy when we're unhappy with something. It is not easy to admit to ourselves how and where we can take responsibility for what's going on in our lives. And it's the same with the positive and the negative. What I find with most women is that we're really good at beating ourselves up over the negative, but we're really bad at taking responsibility for our successes. We pass it off, right? Oh, yes. I got lucky. It was because that person helped me. It was because of this. It was because of that. Instead of owning those successes that we have achieved for ourselves. And it's so important to look at those things with open eyes.
Yeah. And you know what? You're saying something so true. And this is what we can, and again, I'm going to bring in a little bit of spirituality is, we've all got that divine masculine, the sacred feminine in us. Men have that too. And we women have it too. And I can talk about myself that my masculine energy is very high. It's who I am. It's my natural talent, call it. But I'm still shy to claim success, right? But whereas when you look at a man, it's very easy for them to, let's call it brag for a lack of better word. They're comfortable bragging. They're taught to do this early on, locker room talk. They learn it from their peers, and it's how they function. But we as women can learn from the men around us to, there's many things our men can teach us, and there are more things that we women can teach our men. So, we have to be open-minded and say, self-awareness, like you said, Kim, knowing who you are, accepting, knowing your bright side, knowing your darkness, and then having radical self-acceptance. That's where true empowerment comes from. And that's what Sexy Brilliant is.
Yes. I love
it, Kim. We are coming to the end of our show. And at the end of every show, we pull Sexy Brilliant empowerment cards.
Woo! I feel nervous. I don't know. We'll find out if I'm ready.
Yes, so we've got this is our old deck, and we've got about 40 cards here. 42 cards here. So Kim, pick a number between 1 and 3. I'll keep shuffling till you put.
Give me 2.
Okay, 2. All these cards want to come out. Okay, that's number 2. Let's see what it says. Oh my goodness. I didn't tell you. Did I tell you that the cards are a little bit X-rated?
You said they might be a little naughty and that I can pass if it's too much for me.
So this one's let's read it, and you can tell me to stop anytime. It says, do you have any kids there?
Nope, not in the room.
Okay, good. So it says, orgasms are sexy. The big O is a celebration. So, by the way, an orgasm is there's sexual orgasm, but there's also spiritual orgasm, right? Like, I know I get off on working. For lack of no sex kind of a thing. So, and that's okay too. So The guard says, the big O is a celebration. We are sexual people, and sexual fulfillment is important in the grand scheme of things. As sexuality changes over time, claim it. It is your creative energy. Guide it.
Yes, I love it.
Yay! Woo! So very creative energy is also your ambitious side. Your sexual energy can be used in your creative form, and that's what I've been doing, working. Too fat, too loud, too ambitious. So check that out, guys. Kim, as we would you like to pull another card?
Let's do one more. Let's do one more.
Okay. Let's do one more.
3.
Number 3. Woo.
These are fun. These are fun.
Okay, this one says, feeling good is sexy.
Yes, girl. Really good after the orgasm.
Yes, I love it. Feeling good is sexy. When we accept ourselves, we feel good. So, accepting that ambitious side is also part of feeling good. And people are drawn to us when we are happy, calm, and radiating vibes of positive energy. Our warm, loving feelings are embraced and reflected back to us. Feeling good is sexy and brilliant.
I love it. Love it. Those are amazing.
What a beautiful message, Kim. Wow. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, I've loved this. It was so great to come on and connect with you and be able to talk about this.
And you had some great tips on business, on sales, mindset, and ladies, and everybody. Make sure that you're connecting to Kim at kimthebusinesscoach.com. And Kim, thank you so much for being a guest. And we thank everybody who's watching. You are watching Brilliantly Sexy with Devina Kaur. And as a gratitude, this week only, we are giving away my book, Too Fat, Too Loud, Too Ambitious, for free. So please sign up for the email at sexybrilliant.com, and you can get the book for completely free.
I love it. That's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. So guys, share this video. Invite your sisters, your brothers, your mothers. And I know there are a lot of men here. There are a lot of women here too. And I want to say thank you to everybody. There's nothing to be ashamed of being authentic. It's, who we are is actually our superpower. So thank you so much, Kim. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I have loved it. Thank you for having me on. I'll be happy to connect with anybody. They can find me on social media. Tag at The Business Coach on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, kimthebusinesscoach.com for the website. And for any entrepreneurs, if you go out to the website, there is a freebie you can sign up for that I show you your next 3 steps to get your next 3 clients online. So head out and snag that if anybody is looking for some tips on getting more clients.
Yes, please. And make sure you're sharing this video, because there's so many golden nuggets in this that you are actually going to be helping yourself while you're helping others. So thank you so much. And we love you. And namaste to everybody who's here. Bye.
Bye.